Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. A jam-packed week of athletics programming is coming your way right here on the Huskers Radio Network. It started earlier today as Scott Frost set the table for the next chapter in the storied Huskers-Sooners rivalry.
Yeah, this was my favorite game of the year growing up, my entire life. Just like every Nebraska fan, I think. And I was lucky enough to play in two of them. One of them was Coach Osborne's 250th victory. One of the best rivalries in sports. It's kind of a shame it went away, but it's going to be special to be a part of it in a different role.
The Huskers will travel to Norman this Saturday for an 11 a.m. kickoff against the Sooners. They'll hope to slow down Spencer Rattler and company, with Luke Reimer leading the Blackshirts as the reigning Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Reimer was credited with 16 tackles and an interception in Big Red's big win over Buffalo. Elsewhere in college football, USC announced the dismissal of head coach Clay Helton following a 42-28 loss to Stanford and a 1-1 start to the season. Associate head coach Dante Williams will take the helm as interim head coach. Huskers volleyball dropped from number 3 to number 6 in the NCAA's rankings after losing their first match of the season to Utah on Saturday. They'll look to rebound tomorrow night against the 14th ranked Stanford in Palo Alto. Pre-game coverage begins right here on HRN at 6:30 p.m. First serve at 7. Week 1 of the NFL season wraps up tonight as the Ravens are in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders at 7:15 p.m. A few notable football finals from yesterday. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs rallied to beat the Browns 33-29. The Saints crushed the Packers 38-3. The Broncos handled the Giants 27-13. The Steelers upset the Bills 23-16. And the Rams trampled the Bears 34-14. In baseball, only one final so far tonight. The Yankees bested the Twins in extras following a Gary Sanchez walk-off single. And later tonight, we'll get some more action as the Marlins will take on the Nationals. The Rays are in Toronto to face the Blue Jays. The Cardinals will take on the Mets. The Astros battle the Rangers. The Padres play the Giants. And the Diamondbacks face the Dodgers. And the Red Sox will round things out as they take on the Mariners. Those are today's headlines. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3rd and 5 from the Big Red, 25. Adrian gets the snap. Here comes a blitz. Adrian fights off the blitzer. Now trying to weave his way through. He's going to pick up the first down. What an effort. 40-yard line. Adrian to the 50. Adrian to the 40. He's off to the races. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Down at the 5-yard line. What an effort by Adrian Martinez. Snap back, play action. Steps, throws. Ball deflected up in the air. Intercepted. Picked off. Rumbling down the sideline is Luke Reimer inside the 5. He's inside the 1. Out of bounds around the 2. Luke Reimer with a terrific INT. And the Huskers get the first turnover of the game.
All the Huskers, all the time. Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome, another week of Sports Nightly. This one following a Husker victory on Saturday. The Big Red turned back Buffalo 28-3. A lot of good things, particularly from the defense, as they hold the Bulls out of the end zone. A team that had scored 69 points in their opener, held to one field goal on Saturday. And Tim told you in the ticker that led to Luke Reimer being named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. First honor like that for the Huskers in 5 years to have a Defensive Player of the Week. Nate Gary, the last one to get that honor. Really 28-3, and there certainly were some shortcomings. I think we all would like to see the offensive line play a little bit better than they did. Missing field goals was not ideal. Another hiccup in the punt return game for the Big Red. But when you continue to play that good a defense, you gain 516 yards of offense. I mean, 28-3, and Jessica, I know a lot of people were concerned, and me included, that this could be a really tight game on Saturday. 28-3 might be as close as it should have been, with Nebraska having scores taken off the board with penalties, and we can debate whether those were good calls or not, and then missing 3 field goals. This could have been a 40-point margin for the Huskers on Saturday.
Yeah, but when your black shirts play the way they play, you don't have to score 40 points.
Exactly.
But, man, the defense just so locked in the way that they played, and Buffalo is not a bad football team. Now, I don't think they were as good as what that opening week score kind of said, but against Wagner, but that's not a bad football team, and it's going to win some games. And so, again, not very many teams are playing perfect football right now across the country. I think you just continue to build, and I think they did. They continue to build. They took another step forward this week, which is what you want right now. I've also loved that they've taken it 1 week at a time, as much as, from the outside, people wanted to build up this week so much. And, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and the chance to play, one of the top teams in the country, they've been very focused. And now, now it's on to this week, and they are locked in. They had a great week of preparations last week, especially the defense. And so I think they learned a lot about how they prepared for last week and are going to try to translate to this week.
I think that's a great point about how they've gotten better. From week one, the disappointing loss to Illinois, Fordham wasn't nearly as good a football program, and they did what they needed to do, but it was much needed for this program and for these guys' confidence. And then I think they were even better this week against a much better opponent in Buffalo from Fordham, and that needs to continue. You want that trend to continue, and it needs to take obviously it needs to take a big step forward this week to have a chance to beat Oklahoma. This is one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country that Nebraska have to play on the road on Saturday. But I think you walked out of here on Saturday. First of all, you walked out of here after a pretty cool pregame festivities. How amazing was all that? Unbelievable.
I mean, I was just sitting there kind of in awe. I had just chills from my top of my head to my toes, and just, I mean, the whole festivities, the flyover, the tunnel walk, everything was just so incredible. It was so well done by everybody here at Nebraska.
Great way to start the day. I mean, a somber way in some ways, because you're thinking back to the tragedy of 9/11. But kudos to everyone who had a hand in putting on those pregame festivities. They were fantastic.
I love the uniforms. Love the uniforms.
I do too. Yep. I thought they were good.
And you could read the numbers.
Not bad. I think, as you pointed out, it's probably much better up close than you were the further back you got, but I like the helmet a lot.
There are some subtle details that I don't know, maybe you necessarily could get all of it, take all of it in by watching on TV or maybe up high, but up close, man, they were very, very clean. Jeremiah, we were doing the Facebook live stream, and he was kind of a little bit, skeptical about it, but then he said, okay, once they had it all on and they ran out, he was like, okay, those are pretty clean. And so, I think the more you saw it, and you could take in all the little subtle details that were, the gray face mask, the little gray stripes on the shoulder pads. I thought they were really, really clean. I thought they looked really sharp.
I did too, and I think it was nice having white uniforms on a day where it was really, really hot.
Absolutely. It was smoking down there. I could feel the heat coming up. I mean, I was so hot for the hour and a half that we did the pregame stream, and then I got to go sit in the air conditioning for a while, and then when I just came back down for 10 or so minutes, I was sweating again. It was really, really hot down there.
Kudos to the fans who stuck it out, particularly those of you sitting on the east side and the southeast side, because they didn't sniff shade. The folks on the west side got shade by the second half. Not that probably helped a ton, but it was a blistering hot day. The official game time temperature was 91. I think we got to 93, 94 as the day went on. But
conditioning good again, and that was brought up after week 1 at Illinois. The fact that again, week 1, normally you get tired anyways, and then you have the heat. And as Brendan and Jeremiah, a lot of players talked about, the conditioning was pretty good, looked pretty good against Illinois, and then thought it looked good again on Saturday. And again, another hot one coming up on Saturday at 11 a.m. Now Nebraska has a couple of those. I know last week was at 2:30, but the heat, early game, they've got 2 of those under their belt now.
2 things will help. Earlier game should help a little bit with the temperature and the grass. Those are 2 big helpful things this week. Matt Sichterman, I think, cramped up a little bit. Caleb Tanner cramped up a little bit, but that was about it. And that was the disappointing thing to me, because Nebraska, and we said it a couple times on the broadcast, you felt like Nebraska was up big, and yet you looked at the scoreboard, and at halftime midway through the second quarter, it's 7-0, and you're like, God, it feels like we should be up 17-0 because of the missed kicks, of the points coming off the board because of the penalties. And if some of those stand, and the OPI call I still have an issue with. I've gone back and watched it 4 or 5 times. If some of those things stand, we would have played our backups a lot more in the game than they got a chance to play, which that would have really been a nice benefit to get out of that game, and we just didn't get that.
But again, I think it's something where you learn from every single thing, every single time you get out there, and some of those mistakes maybe you haven't made before, now you learn from them. Hopefully get the kicking game figured out, the field goal issues. But Yeah, I mean, I think you just continue to learn from every situation. I thought at the end when Coach Frost was kind of fighting for the backups too. I mean, just again, you got to learn from every situation, and all those little details, they matter. And so if you know, some of those mistakes, some of those penalties that you make on, last Saturday, hopefully you learn from that and you don't make them again moving forward. You can't make those against Oklahoma.
Again, going back to the offensive struggles, and to me, I look more at the offensive line. Maybe I'm hanging around too many of those guys. That's probably not good for my brain with Brendan and Jeremiah around us all the time. But they're not quite in sync yet, and I know a lot of them haven't played very much. And Sichterman's only made 3 starts in his career, and some of those guys, Corcoran's only made a couple of starts in his career, but we're not full strength right now, particularly with our weapons on the outside. Oliver Martin didn't dress. Omar Manning didn't dress. Xavier Betts gets hurt in the game. Austin Allen gets hurt in the game. Vokolet's not played yet this year. And in fact, we got a text from Dale and Hastings. He wants an update on all those guys. Dale, we don't know. They're hopeful, but we don't have a solid up or down on any of those guys for this week's game. But, Jessica, those are good football players that aren't on the field right now for this team.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And the fact that they were still able to do what they did and score, and have the type of production yards-wise and get up and down the field without some of those really key weapons missing. I will say I was on the field about 1:40, or I guess 12:40ish, and Travis Vokolek and Casey Rogers were both down there going through a pretty intense warm-up, so a pretty intense workout, and we're getting a good workout in down there, so got to feel pretty good about the progress of those guys. I don't necessarily think that Omar Manning's injury is super serious. I don't know. He had a walking boot down there he was down on the field. He was at least walking around. He had a boot on, but a lot of times they put those guys in boots just precautionary, so you don't tweak it even more while you're jumping around on the sideline, whatever it might be. So he was in a boot, but he was down there moving around. So hopefully, a couple of those guys, no word on Austin Allen, but Scott did say in his presser that nobody's ruled out this week. So none of those guys are officially ruled out yet. So hopefully we'll know the status of the health of those guys moving forward. But I do think some of the guys that have been out might be close, other than Oliver Martin. Not sure about him, but some of those other guys hopefully will be getting close. And Austin Allen, don't know about if it's a concussion protocol, you don't know about those things.
And they don't talk much about that. He did.
You can't, yeah.
Coach Frost did say he hit his head on the ground pretty hard. He said he was woozy. But what does that mean for Saturday? I don't know. If there's any chance for him to be out there, he will. Right. He wants to be out there. I mean, that happened so early in the game, too. One of the first plays Nebraska had under center was a throw to him, and he bangs his head near midfield, and he's out. Kudos to Chancellor Brewington. I just like to say his name. But kudos to him. That kid was a wide receiver 6 weeks ago, and he's coming in and getting big snaps. Chris Hickman had a couple of big catches in the game. Those guys are doing really well. But they're not our starters. We want our starters back.
Yeah, and Austin Allen, I think, again, just coming from Oklahoma, could be a nightmare. Could be a problem for the Oklahoma defense. So he would be big to get back. So hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully, maybe Vokolek will be back this week. Right. I don't know. Maybe he's a couple weeks out, but maybe if he's getting closer, you could add some depth back there. He would be huge. But Austin Allen would be massive to get back. And hopefully, a couple of those, wide receivers, might be close, maybe tweaked a little bit. Hopefully he'll be back this week. But Samori, another big game for him, huge. And you can see how big of a problem he's going to be. Oklahoma has some young cornerbacks that, have they allowed almost 300 passing yards to Tulane. So you might have some opportunity in the passing game to take some shots at Oklahoma secondary. When
you and Jeremiah were doing your Facebook stream on Saturday, Vokolek was out there running around a little bit. Look, and we thought, maybe he's going to dress. He didn't, but that tells me he's not far off.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying, before we started the stream, he was down there getting an intense workout in. He was sweaty. He was running around. He looked good. I mean, it looked like he was full speed. But, again, you don't want to rush that back. You got to take your time. Same thing with Casey Rogers. I mean, even though as deep as that defensive line is, having him back is going to be big as well.
No doubt. He's a playmaker. We've missed having Casey, and that defense has been playing really, really well. Second time in the Scott Frost era that the Huskers hold a team out of the end zone in a game. They did it to Michigan State in Scott's first year on that very frigid day. Field goal game. Huskers won that one 9-6, but 2 times now in 3+ seasons, the Huskers have held a team out of the end zone. That's pretty impressive.
And the fact that going back to Casey Rogers and Jeremiah Brian and I have talked about this, just the fact that there is so much depth that you don't have to rush him back, that you can be patient with him and get him back and make sure that he is good to go for Oklahoma. I think he will be back this week, and I think he will provide a massive addition up there up front for the defensive line. But, yeah, I mean, you have to take a lot away, a ton of confidence when you don't allow a team in the end zone.
Right.
Even from start to finish, it's one thing to give up one at the end of the game, but still, like, I mean, you keep them off the board with the touchdown. That's huge and is massive for a defense.
You could tell how much it meant because Buffalo had a drive there with about 3 minutes to go. They got down around the 20, and a couple of the ones came back in the game, and Matt even made the comment. He goes, I think somebody wants to keep these guys out of the end zone for the game. Colton Feast was back. First time we've seen him play along that offensive line, so good to get his body back in there, and he made a couple plays in the game on Saturday. Hey, buckle up. Put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, here's what we have on the program. Coming up here in a few minutes, Scott Frost did hold his weekly press conference today. We'll play you some clips from that. It's Mondays. Matt Davison will be here at the top of hour number 2 to give us his thoughts about the Buffalo game and looking ahead to Oklahoma. And we'll hear from Savion Morrison, who is an Oklahoma native, going back to his home state to play this weekend. We'll talk to him coming up in the second hour as well. And phone lines, text lines open for you, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of this. Share a thought about Saturday's game. Maybe it's a thought about the pregame festivities. What'd you think of all that? Also, we're up and running on our YouTube stream, and the chat room is alive and well tonight. A lot of folks in there having some fun chatting back and forth. So, full couple of hours coming your way. Come on back. We got more next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up in back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oh, oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerballs Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Toast Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or toastsubaru.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Treatment for kids fighting brain cancer has not changed for over 30 years. If a child survives, they will live with the side effects from the treatments for the rest of their lives. This is Rex Burkhead. The Team Jack Foundation invests in impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments and one day a cure. There's a lot of work to do to beat this disease, and we need your help. Donate today by calling 855-RUN-JACK or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org. Your help makes a difference.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now, you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Here we go again. The celebrating, the accolades. Ever since we added Marco to our team, our technology can't lose. Day after day, success after success, Marco's made our business IT a force to be reckoned with. The only drawback of being technology all-stars is keeping champagne away from the electronics. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead, and I am asking you to tune in on Thursday, September 16th to the Team Jack Foundation's annual radiothon presented by the Home Agency. Your donation helps fund impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments for kids and one day a cure. Our kids deserve more. You can help by tuning in to the Team Jack Radiothon on September 16th or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to make your donation now.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us. Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
We're back, Sports Island, here on a Monday night, live from our Acres Broadcast Center. Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and down into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. The head coach met with the media today, and we referenced this on our opening comments, that the running game was not very consistent on Saturday. You had the big run from Adrian. I think the longest run after that was a 21-yard run by Gabe Irvin. The head coach was asked about how can you improve that run game as you move through this season.
I think we got to be a little more consistent. It's one guy here or there on some plays. It's missing a hole on another play. And they had the box packed, so it made it a little tough, but we still need to be able to pop a few more of those, and it's got to be a collective effort. Tight ends, running backs, offensive line, receivers.
One player that I think no doubt had his best game as a Husker was Gabe Irvin, who broke off a couple nice runs, ended up with 56 runs, or 56 yards on 10 carries, so that's 5.6 yards a carry for Gabe. Also did a really good job in picking up some blitzes. Here's the coach talking about Gabe.
The thing I like the best is he looked like he was running with a little bit of attitude, like he was going to make it happen. He was going to find a hole and get us yards, and we need an aggressive attitude, including in the running back room.
I got to interview Gabe for the first time after the game on Saturday. Boy, he is impressive. But you can see why and understand what the coaches have been saying about how he's handled his business. He just didn't do interviews like a freshman either, and seems to have a really good head on his shoulders, understanding of the game, which again sometimes comes with time for those freshmen. But I really like, and we're going to hear from Sevion Morrison later in the show. I talked to Marquis Stepp last week. Even though these running backs are competing for time and touches, they understand that it could be more than one guy that's needed, could be more than two guys that are needed, and it might be who has the hot hand, but they're all really supportive of each other and pushing each other. So I think it's a room that's kind of clicking and gelling, and we've seen 3 different weeks now someone else kind of emerge. And so I think that will be good for this football team to have multiple weapons, especially if the wide receivers are continue to be banged up and nicked up a little bit.
Well, it was interesting, and I'm guilty of this too, because I asked the same question last week. People were like, okay, aren't you now ready to crown Stepp as the lead guy because he had the 100-yard game against Fordham? And Scott Frost said, not yet. We're going to play the hot hand who's had a better day, and that proved to be the right move Saturday because Gabe was the one that looked like the better back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, and I talked to Ryan Held this summer, he said that it could be a competition that goes throughout the season, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's good that they, even though they said at the beginning, yeah, we'd like to find who that number one guy is, the fact that just because they wanted to find that guy, you know, that they haven't just locked into that they've kind of allowed to see who has the hot hand and who's maybe running the best on any given day. And it also might be a matchup thing too, who's best against certain fronts. And so I think, yeah, just continuing to let them kind of battle it out. It keeps the competition high at practice too, and it's going to continue to push these guys and make them better.
Well, the coach did make a comment today that, you know, some running backs missed some lanes. It wasn't all on the offensive line, but obviously the offensive line has to be better than it has been to this point in time. Some new faces up there. We talked about Sichterman's a new starter. Corcoran's a new starter. Benhart did start last year. And the coach was asked about chemistry among that group, and do you tweak the guys who play because you're trying to establish chemistry? It's a tough balance. Here's his answer.
No, we got to grow as a unit, and that unit might be 5 guys, it might be 7 guys, it might be 8 guys. We're going to put the best guys out there. If we need to rotate, we'll rotate. More than anything, I think they need to stop thinking as much as they're thinking and just come off the rock and move people. But again, it wasn't all the offensive line. We missed a few cuts. Tight ends missed a couple times. We would have had some bigger runs, and receivers missed a couple times. So it's a group deal, and was good enough to win Saturday, but we got to keep getting better.
You want to get Jeremiah fired up is blame everything on the offensive line every single time, because it's not always their fault. It's sometimes it is the tight end, sometimes it is a running back that missed a blitz or whatever that might be, or might not hit the hole. It's not always on the offensive line, but I did think it was key what he talked about earlier about one guy doesn't do his job, misses the assignment, that can mess up what the entire O-line is doing. So you've got to get all 5 of those guys in sync.
The best blocking tight end hasn't played yet, and that's Travis Vokalek. He's the best blocking tight end, and so we haven't had him out there, and he, I think, will be key to the running game if we can get him healthy and back on the field. So that's fingers crossed that we see Vokalek play Saturday and play well against Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, all right, here we go. Back to a great rivalry game that obviously has lost some steam because the two teams are now in different leagues, and Oklahoma's going to go to a different league here in the next couple of years. But here's the coach talking about this kind of a rivalry and what it's kind of meant to college football.
It's a talented team. Wow, you turn it on and the speed just pops out right away. Every position, the size and speed of the guys. So really encouraging our guys to execute the same way we have been and improve that, but try to do it at absolute fast as possible, because I know the speed of Oklahoma is going to be a little different than what we've seen the last couple weeks.
That was him talking about the speed of Oklahoma, and obviously this will be by far the fastest team that Nebraska's played to this point in time. Illinois had good athletes, but they don't have the speed that Oklahoma has.
Yeah, I mean, they're fast. I mean, they definitely are at a lot of different positions. But on the flip side of that, you know, and Jeremiah and I talked about this on the podcast, while it might be the fastest team that Nebraska's seen, Nebraska is going to be the most physical team that Oklahoma has seen.
True.
And Spencer Rattler said that after the Tulane game, that it was one of the hardest hitting teams that he's played against. And, you know, Jeremiah talked about it. One thing about Nebraska, they're not going to get out physicaled. And so they're going to, you know, bring that physicality, hopefully. And that might, you know, maybe combat a little bit of the speed if, you know, because Oklahoma is not going to be prepared for the physicality. They haven't seen the physicality that Nebraska can bring either.
One of those old kind of cliches about football. The Big Ten has kind of been a bully conference. the schools in the South usually have the better athletes. What wins out on that? We could see a little bit of that going on Saturday. Spencer Rattler, a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate, had a big day for them against Western Carolina on Saturday. Here's the head coach talking about the Oklahoma quarterback.
He can make every throw, really nifty. They do a great job coaching their quarterbacks, and they got some super talented ones, and he's surrounded by really good O-line and a lot of weapons on the perimeter and backfield, so it's a formidable opponent for sure.
Your thoughts about Spencer? You've seen a lot of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think week one, his numbers, and a lot of people on the Oklahoma side of it talked a lot about it. His numbers were off the charts, but he had 2 interceptions and should have been 3 because Tulane got called for pass interference that they said was not a pass interference. So you're looking at 3 interceptions. He played a lot better last week, but again, did not play as good of a team last week, so hard to get a really good feel about that. But some of those things that he's done, some of the mistakes, you know, he had thrown some interceptions in some big moments a year ago. He had kind of, towards the end of the season, had kind of worked through that a little bit, but threw some interceptions in week one. And so, but yeah, he's definitely a talented quarterback and has some very, very talented wide receivers around him as well.
All right. The coach was asked who in the Big Ten would remind him of Oklahoma, and somebody said it's probably got to be Ohio State. The coach didn't want to bite on that, but here was his response to the question.
They've got about as good a player as there is in the country at almost every position. But, you know, I don't want our guys to back down to that, and I don't think they will. Our guys are really excited to play. We know what kind of challenge there is in front of us. We know what kind of team we're playing. It's a great team. Our guys are excited about the opportunity.
I mean, as a competitor, you want this opportunity. I mean, we wouldn't be driving down there and getting ready to play the game if it was just who was supposed to win and who was the most talented team or whatever. But, you know, as you come to college and you play collegiate sports, to have this kind of opportunity, to be on a national stage, to play the best competition and, you know, maybe to shock the world. Nobody's given Nebraska much of a chance, but it is, as Coach said, and talking with a few of the players, they're not letting that affect them. They're ready to go down there and give them a fight.
Should be a good one. 11 o'clock on Saturday with our pregame coverage beginning at 7 a.m. with Husker Game Day. Valentino's Pizza Poster and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.99 each and a free Husker schedule poster. Add a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi for just $1.99. Valentino's, it's the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. All right, that's it for the comments from the coach from today. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dot us up with a comment or question about Husker football. Also, our text line is open. The chat room is alive and well on our YouTube chat here tonight. We're back with more Sports Nightly next.
Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Ford. Take advantage of our current offers and vast inventory selection with features you want at a smart price. Schedule a test drive today or shop online with our streamlined sales process. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in person or online at WoodhouseFord.com. Choose your experience and find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family, and your safety is the #1 priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The Rural Fellows Program doubled their average number of participating students this year, putting UNL student interns to work in 17 Nebraska communities for the summer. Interns use their skills to get real-world experience on a variety of projects, from mapping out trail systems to creating promotional videos to researching and documenting local history.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shop Woodhouse Chevy Buick in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and experience the Woodhouse difference, where our sales staff is here, ready to help you find your perfect new car, truck, or SUV. And with over 100 new vehicles on our lot with more arriving daily, we're sure to have something for you. From the Buick Encore to our heavy-duty trucks, we have the best selection available. Find new roads and shop all of our inventory and offers at woodhousechevy.com or visit us at our dealership for a test drive today, making car buying easier. This is Woodhouse.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Treatment for kids fighting brain cancer has not changed for over 30 years. If a child survives, they will live with the side effects from the treatments for the rest of their lives. This is Rex Burkhead. The Team Jack Foundation invests in impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments and one day a cure. There's a lot of work to do to beat this disease, and we need your help. Donate today by calling 855-RUN-JACK or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org. Your help makes a difference.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and a new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. 402-413-2400. The number to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. On our text line, Carla wants to know, can you guys explain the pick play and why have we been getting flagged for it? Am I understanding the name of the play correctly? She is. It's like an illegal pick in basketball, right? If you think about that term, you got in basketball, you have to stay set. If you're moving, they'll call an illegal screen on you. Here, you're not allowed to go to stand in front of a defender, and that's what the officials deemed the call against Nebraska.
You know what? Also, speaking of basketball, they do the 3-man weave in warm-ups. Have you noticed that?
Do? Yeah. Handle the ball.
Yeah, it brings back some memories for me. While we're talking basketball, transferring over to football.
Now, the announcement was that it was on Wyatt Lieber. It was not. It was on 88, which is Levi Falk. So if you go back to watch the play, Falk is lined up at the top of your screen. He comes down. He's trying to run a cross route, and he runs into a Buffalo defender who's just standing there, and that's what they called the penalty on.
Yeah, again, and I think there are penalties that you continue to learn from each week that you just can't do, and as iffy as it might be, you can't do some of those things. It's a rule for a reason, and you have to learn from it. And so I bet they watched film and we'll move on, and it hopefully won't happen again.
The Huskers learned today that their game next week with Michigan State will be a night game. First night game of the year will be at 6 o'clock in East Lansing. That'll make back-to-back night games because the following week is Northwestern. That one has already been tabbed for a 6:30 start. So some night football coming up for the Big Red road game and then back home. Not home again until October. Crazy the way this schedule has lined up. Some big news in college football today. USC has already parted ways with Clay Helton, their head coach. They got upset by Stanford on Saturday. The Trojans ain't messing around. He's out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, you knew that there kind of some unhappiness going on up there, and if you already have lost some games that for a team, you don't want to lose a team even more. You got to start building. If you're going to make a move for them, they're like, move now. Let's make a move now and try to salvage the rest of the season as best as we can, and maybe start getting someone in there that can start building their culture and whatnot. But who knows? Did they name an interim?
They named it Dante Williams, who Husker fans might remember that name. He was a former defensive backs coach here for Bo Pelini. So Dante now is the interim head coach for USC. They're already talking about going after Luke Fickell at Cincinnati, maybe lure Bob Stoops out of retirement.
That's not happening.
Maybe Urban Meyer only wants a one and done in the NFL and comes back out. So they're shooting big. And they are USC. They'll probably get some like that.
Yeah, someone will want that job very badly.
Yeah, probably so. Let's head to the phones. Jeremy, you're up next here on Sports Honda. Good evening.
I think USC should go after Mike Riley. Number one choice for USC would be Mike Riley for me.
Okay.
Anyway, the pick play this week, touchdown that I got called back.
Yep.
For me, that's a legitimate call.
Really?
I mean, it's questionable. I seen Levi Falk run directly at the defender and stop in front of him. Like, I think if he keeps running and just rubs him, he doesn't get a call. But if he runs to him and stops, I think that's what brings the call out.
All right. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying or not?
I don't agree. I see what you're saying. I don't agree, but we're all entitled to our opinions, right?
That's right. Mike Riley to USC.
All right. Solid take, Jeremy. Solid take. Appreciate that. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Need to step aside, get our final break of the hour, and back with more Sports Highlight coming up.
Husker fans, looking for a seat in Memorial Stadium? Custom 3-game mini plans are available now for only $195. Choose any combination of the 6 games available. Matchups available in the 3-game plan include the home opener versus Fordham, Buffalo, Northwestern, Michigan, Purdue, and Iowa. Don't miss this opportunity to join the greatest bands in college sports and help fill Memorial Stadium. To build your mini plan, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome Triple Stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. UNL has been named one of the best schools for veterans for the 5th year in a row. The ranking on the Military Times Best for Vets survey reflects the hard work of Nebraska's Military and Veteran Success Center, serving military dependents, veterans, National Guard members, active duty troops, and many Husker students in the reserves.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400. That's the number to dot us up with a comment or question here on Sports Nightly Monday night, or you can fire off a text at that same number. Chat room up and active tonight on YouTube. Back to the phones we go, up to Omaha. And Mike, good evening, Mike.
Now, I've shown you guys the love, as you acknowledge. Jessica, everybody loves her. Greg, I said you were a pro. By the way, Jessica, good scouting report on Oklahoma. I hope the coaches are listening. But you were going nuts about that call at the end. And when I saw it live, I thought, what the hell was that call? It looked like a righteous pitch. So I happened to leave then, and we were in the concourse and got to watch on the screens there the replay, which they showed in slow motion. And the rule is, if it's beyond the line of scrimmage, where was the ball released, where was the ball, and where was the ball caught? And it was slightly forward, not a lot. So it turned out to be a good call. And then I'm listening to you on the radio for about the next 5 minutes just screaming about that call. It was a good call.
Okay.
So I think you ought to apologize.
Not going to apologize. I think they got it wrong, but appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it. Man, everybody's beating up on me for defending the Huskers. I'm defending the Huskers. Oh, goodness. Anybody want to call and talk about good performances by Luke Reimer? Anybody want to talk about a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week with 16 tackles, first one in 5 years? Anybody want to talk about that? I don't know. Goodness gracious.
What a performance by him, though.
Amazing.
He's going to be such a good player for this defense moving forward. He's still young, just still kind of figuring out his role and kind of letting loose. And you could tell how happy this team was for him. I mean, he has really got the support of this team, too. They really, really like him.
Everybody talks about the interception, which was an amazing play because he tipped it to himself, but the fourth down play when Buffalo went for it in their own territory in the first half, the way he got to the edge and made the tackle was an incredible play that he did.
It's funny. I sent that to Jeremiah. I said, I didn't see plays like this made in the Big 12. Just the defensive performance and the tackling, that stop was unbelievable. I mean, just the sheer will that this is not Buffalo is not getting a first down here, and he made it happen. So, unbelievable play.
Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office, 402-413-2400. I guess if you want to call and beat up Greg tonight, go ahead, call beat up Greg tonight. I guess you can't beat up on the Huskers because they won by 25, so you can't complain about them. You want to complain about me. So go ahead, I'll take it. I'm a big boy. I'm not going to apologize because I still don't believe that was the right call to be made. But one last thing on the pick play, too. You could call that a lot in football. It's a kind of a gray area because a lot of crossing routes guys do that type of thing. So it's such a gray area. And if you look at the formation of Buffalo's defenders, they had nobody who was going to go out and cover Samore on the play. There was nobody even looking at him. So if it was or wasn't a pick, nobody was going to get out and cover up Samore to stop him from scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. I didn't hear your call because I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But I did see a lot of fans that were really upset about that call. So I think there are a lot of people that are on your side.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just don't have anything to complain about for the Huskers tonight, so they're just going to complain about Greg Sharpe. That's fine. All right. That's kind of what our role is.
Somebody agrees with you here. Not a good call. That was not forward. So on the chat. And Crypto, not a good call. There was a lot of people on the YouTube chat agree with you.
Now it's time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker volleyball in action tomorrow night against Stanford, a 7 o'clock match, 6:30 for pregame coverage. Huskers and the Cardinal, two ranked teams, will duel tomorrow night. And then they're back home to take on number 5 Louisville on Saturday night. So it'll be a busy week and a tough week for John Cook's team after playing a ranked Utah team over the weekend as well. Let's stay in Lincoln. Lee, you're up next here on Sports Island. Good evening.
Hi, guys. Great to talk with you. I haven't gotten to call in much lately. So, Greg, Mike was wrong. The option play for the touchdown, that was at best they were even, but actually after watching the play about 8 times because I taped the game, that was a lateral. It was a backwards pass. And here's the other thing. I mean, the Huskers just seem to be snake bit. So kind of the same thing with the kick play. And tell me what you guys think about the last field goal. I thought the refereeing was terrible, and I'm going to say that if it was Clemson or if it was Ohio State or Oklahoma or Alabama, none of those plays would have been called. I thought the last field goal was good, and the referees had a chance to make it right on the option pitch play for the touchdown. Tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, that's a good point on the field goal. There's several different angles that look like that field goal that Connor kicked at the end of the game was good.
Yeah, it would have been good if it would have been really
Great
big
for his confidence.
if it would have been good.
Yeah, would have been really good for.
I still don't worry too much about him. I think he'll figure it out.
Hope so. He's not missing badly. It's not like he's shanking. It's just not lining up right for him in there. Let's go to West Point and Pete. Good evening, Pete. Welcome to Sports Nightly.
How you doing tonight?
Well, good. I guess I'm supposed to apologize for a bunch of stuff, Pete, but other than that, I'm all right.
No, you never apologize for defending the Huskers.
What's on your mind?
Hey, I was kind of looking. I see Iowa's ranked like 5th now.
Yep.
How come they always get the easier schedule? If you go look at Nebraska's schedule and crossover games and you look at Iowa's, I mean, there's a stark difference. And I just don't know how the Big Ten can even think that some of this scheduling is even fair because they always have an easier path. I just wanted to hang up and listen to your opinion on scheduling.
All right. Yeah, Pete, I think you'd have a hard time right now saying that because they did play Indiana, a ranked team, and Iowa State, a ranked team. But I get what you're saying. Nebraska's had to play the Buckeyes each of like the last 8 years. Iowa hasn't played them as much. Iowa's kind of locked in crossovers. Penn State, they've been good. So I don't know, but right now they played Indiana and Iowa State, and they've got 2 really good wins under their belt. They look good.
Yeah, I picked Iowa State to win that game, and Iowa looked really good in that game. And Iowa State has not looked good in these first 2 games, and everyone thought, and they were ranked in the top 10, thought that this might be their year, but boy, they did not look very good those first 2 weeks, and Iowa has looked really good.
They deserve what they've got now, Pete, but yeah, they'll still have some challenges ahead of them. We've got another hour ahead of us. Phone lines are lit up now. Get you fired up.
You asked, they deliver.
We'll take some calls.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead. and I am asking you to tune in on Thursday, September 16th to the Team Jack Foundation's annual radiothon presented by the Home Agency. Your donation helps fund impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments for kids and one day a cure. Our kids deserve more. You can help by tuning in to the Team Jack Radiothon on September 16th or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to make your donation now.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
Sometimes being an office printer feels like I'm competing in an Olympic sport. Thankfully, I have Marco's Managed Print Services on my team. Marco's game plan helps me make big plays while saving big bucks. And Marco's lightning fast tech support gets me back in the game fast. I'm up. Find out what your printers could be saying with Marco's Managed Print Services at marconet.com.
From inside the Acres Broadcast Center, I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. A jam-packed week of athletics programming is coming your way right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Earlier today, Scott Frost set the table for the next chapter, the storied Huskers-Sooners rivalry.
Yeah, this was my favorite game of the year growing up, my entire life. Just like every Nebraska fan, I think. And I was lucky enough to play in two of them. One of them was Coach Osborne's 250th victory. One of the best rivalries in sports. It's kind of a shame it went away, but it's going to be special to be a part of it in a different role.
The Huskers will travel to Norman this Saturday for an 11 a.m. kickoff against the Sooners. Luke Reimer will look to rattle Spencer Rattler, as the company of Oklahoma is one that is coming into this competition looking to continue their successful start to the season. Reimer was named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week after being credited with 16 tackles and an interception in Big Red's big win over Buffalo. Elsewhere in college football, USC announced the dismissal of head coach Clay Helton following a 42-28 loss to Stanford and a 1-1 start to the season. Associate head coach Dante Williams will take the helm as the interim head coach for the remainder of the year. Huskers volleyball dropped from number 3 to number 6 in the NCAA's rankings after losing their first match of the season to Utah on Saturday. They look to rebound Tuesday night against 14th ranked Stanford in Palo Alto. Pre-game coverage begins right here on HRN at 6:30. First serve at 7. Week 1 of the NFL season wraps up in just a few minutes as the Ravens and Raiders are set to get underway in Las Vegas. A few notable football finals from yesterday included the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs rally over the Browns 33-29. The Saints crushed the Packers 38-3. The Broncos handled the Giants 27-13. The Steelers upset the Bills 23-16. And the Rams trampled the Bears 34-14. In baseball, only one final so far. The Yankees bested the Twins in extras following a Gary Sanchez walk-off single. 6-5 was the final score in that one. The Marlins lead the Nationals 1-0 in the top of the fourth. The Rays and Blue Jays are scoreless in the third. The Cardinals are up on the Mets 1-0 in the second. And later tonight, we'll see a few games. And one just starting in just a few moments will be the Astros taking on the Rangers. And then later tonight, we'll see the Padres take on the Giants at 8:45. The Diamondbacks square off with the Dodgers at 9:10. And likewise at 9:10, the Red Sox will take on the Mariners. Those are today's headlines. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3rd and 5 from the Big Red, 25. Adrian gets the snap. Here comes a blitz. Adrian fights off the blitzer. Now trying to weave his way through. He's going to pick up a first down. What an effort. 40-yard line. Adrian to the 50. Adrian to the 40. He's off to the races. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Down at the 5-yard line. What an effort by Adrian Martinez. Snap back, play action. Steps, throws. Ball deflected up in the air. Intercepted. Picked off. Rumbling down the sideline is Luke Reimer inside the 5. He's inside the 1. Out of bounds around the 2. Luke Reimer with a terrific INT. And the Huskers get the first turnover of the game.
All the Huskers, all the time. Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly on a Monday after a Husker win of 28-3 over the Buffalo Bulls on Saturday. Matt Davison coming up here in a little bit. Savion Morrison, we're going to sit down with him. He's a Oklahoma product, probably very excited about heading back to that state to play Oklahoma on Saturday. And phone lines are open for you throughout the hour as well at 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of this one. Let's go to O'Neill and Crystal. Good evening, Crystal. Welcome to the program.
Well, good evening, and I just wanted to say that I was very impressed with the way our defense was wrapping up and taking down the opponents.
Good, yeah. The tackling was very good. That's a good point.
And that's all. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you. I absolutely agree. I mean, I literally just said that about the Reimer tackle. I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, that's so big. You got to get them down to the ground. And so I thought they did a great job. They were very well prepared, the defense, and seemed to be locked in from the start. I thought the defense was absolutely lights out.
Average gain per play for Buffalo was 4.3 yards. That's pretty good when they get as many snaps in the game as they had. The defense has been really good. I mean, 7 points given up the week before, 3 on Saturday.
I think it was under 71 rushing yards until the fourth quarter.
They got up over 100 for the game at the end.
It was like the very end. It was in the last like 2 or 3 minutes. They were held under 100, well under 100 yards rushing for the most part in that game too, which is big.
And that's what they like to do. They and Nebraska turned them into a passing team because they couldn't really get the run going, so they tried to throw it all over the place with a 50 pass attempts in the game. Hey, I'm glad Crystal's called because we didn't get anybody calling and talking about that defense in the first hour. And I mean, those kids deserve a lot of praise. They are playing really good football now. 7 straight opponents they've held to under 400 yards total offense. And I saw somebody kind of picking at that, going, well, who they play? Well, 5 of them were league teams. 5 of the 7 were Big Ten teams.
And Buffalo just scored, 69 points last week? Yeah. And look, I mean, your offense doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to hang 55 points if your defense is holding teams to 3 points.
Great way to stay in every game if you play that good a defense. Let's go to Bob in Milford. Good evening, Bob. Welcome to Sports Nightly.
Hey, Greg, it's Coach Bargan.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I just wanted to throw you a lifeline. They're beating up on you big time, and nobody's seen more football than you. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I get so upset, and I should stay off of it. But the stupid comments and. You know what? This is my 50th year refereeing high school football in Nebraska. 50th and last. And I will put my crew against that outfit that was in Lincoln Saturday. And if any of them made some of those calls, they wouldn't be on my crew anymore. What's up with the Big Ten? Is it Nebraska?
I don't know, because it just seems like big plays happen, and they're coming back a lot against Nebraska. And, Bob, there was a third score that Nebraska had. They got called back, and it was a legitimate. It was a holding on Benhart. He took down the kid. It was an absolute penalty. It should have been called. It was called. I have no problem with that. But some of these gray area calls that are taking points off the board, you better be sure about it before you throw the flag.
And I thought surely after they went and looked at the option pitch, they would get it right.
So you don't think I need to apologize for that, Bob?
Don't apologize for any of it. The first one, the long touch, I don't think they ever explained that one that I knew of. I was in the stadium and I didn't hear them, but the option at the end, and I'm not so sure now I'm sitting in the South Stadium, but I swear that last field goal was good.
A lot of people in the stadium have told me the same thing. They thought he got it inside that upright.
I just don't understand. Anyway, don't let him beat you up. Us old people
we got to stick together.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my dad thinks, in regarding the Big Ten refs, he thinks I brought the Big 12 refs with me up here.
I don't know if that was a total Big Ten crew or not. I think the Big Ten and the MAC share officials, so I think it's kind of a combination of the two. But
I wonder which crews get assigned. I mean, you got to think probably the A team goes to the biggest game. If
probably
Ohio State, maybe you think that was
probably
a Big
Pac-12.
Ten.
It was probably a Pac-12 crew because it was a road game for the Pac-12 team. A lot of time, I think we probably have a Big Ten crew in Norman on Saturday. But there were 3 touchdowns taken off the board. I have no problem with one of them. As I said to Bob, the Benhart hold was absolutely legit. The other 2 were very much gray area calls, and it just seems like that happens to Nebraska a lot.
At least this one didn't determine the outcome of a game or, have a huge impact on the outcome of a game. And again, I'm not blaming the refs for anything at Illinois, but there were some massive calls in that one that did affect the trajectory of that game.
Let's plug one more caller. Where are we going here? Jessica in Lincoln.
Kara.
Kara in Lincoln, you're up next. Good evening, Kara.
Hi. I was listening to you every night, and I listen to you all the time on the radio and have the TV on so I can see the picture. So I appreciate you very much. I wanted to, congratulate Martinez again. I get so irritated at people that complain about him. We wouldn't be a team without him, I don't think. My son agrees, and he goes to the game. I don't anymore. But he said when Martinez made that 73-yard run and stopped at the 2-yard line, somebody near him said, well, why didn't he go all the way? And he doesn't think people really appreciate him, how much he does. So that's my comment for the day.
Kara, thank you so much. I agree with you. I think Adrian has played really good football the last couple of weeks. He's taking care of the ball. His passer rating was through the charts on Saturday in that game. He was extremely accurate on some of the downfield throws.
And again, was without a number of weapons and still had that kind of performance.
Back-to-back weeks, he's played very, very well.
And he is the leader of this football team. The team follows him. I agree 100%. This team believes in him and is behind him 1,000%.
Great comment. I'm glad you pointed that out, because we certainly point out when Adrian doesn't play well, or at least a lot of people do. I'm glad we've been able to do a little bit of that tonight with him, because he's played very, very well. Over 2,000 yards rushing now in his career. He's got over 6,000 through the air. I think there's only been 6 other Big Ten quarterbacks in the history that have had that combination. That's pretty high company that Adrian's in.
And again, the ability to use his feet is a nightmare for other defenses, and again, it's going to be a nightmare for Oklahoma to prepare for. They always talk about that, how hard it is to prepare for teams that have a quarterback that can use his feet. And so while he has been throwing the ball a lot more downfield, the fact that you have to prepare for that and plan for that, and he can rip off a 73-yard run, is absolutely massive for an offense.
Just one of those amazing runs that you'll ever see, and I hope people appreciate what they saw on Saturday. Well, one guy who was there watching it all with me joins me now, Matt Davison, our Mondays with Matt segment here on Sports Night. Your thoughts about the 28-3 victory now that you've had a couple days to percolate on it?
Nice to win, obviously. It's tough to win games. You look around the country, and there were a lot of upsets the first couple of weeks, and we were able to take care of business. I think if you'd have said we were going to win by 25 points, everybody probably would have been pretty happy. Left a few points off the board that we probably should have had, obviously. Got 3 touchdowns called back, missed 3 field goals. But the defense played really good, and you have 500 yards of offense, so obviously some good things happened on both sides of the ball. And so there's a lot of positives to take out of it. I think the team got better from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, and that's what you need to do, is get better every week, and I think we've done that.
Luke Reimer today named Conference Defensive Player of the Week, 16 tackles. What'd you make of his play?
Yeah, it's been about 5 years since we had a winner of Defensive Player of the Week. So, look, he's a really talented player. He's strong and fast, and he's going to make a bunch of plays in his career here. He's a really good player. Made a huge play on that 4th down in the game on Saturday and had the big interception, tipped it to himself. That's not easy. And so, obviously, he's very talented. And that room with Barrett Ruud leading the way, those are young guys that are good football players.
Yeah, I think people forget kind of that 4th down stop that he made. And the Buffalo was surprised, you and I. They went for it on their side of the 50, and it was probably going to work outside of his outstanding effort.
Yeah, it's just great speed to the edge. He's able to run sideline to sideline. He has great instincts, and he gets guys to the ground. And you can have all those abilities, and sometimes just tackling a person isn't easy for everybody, but he finds a way to get people to the ground. And you think about, again, who's coaching him, and Barrett was one of the best tacklers ever here. And so he gets to a guy and he gets him to the ground, and he did that on that play, and he's going to keep getting better. That's the good thing, and he's still young, and I know he's excited for this week.
You mentioned the over 500 yards of offense for the Big Red, and yet there was kind of a missing consistent run game. What did you see? What have you seen if you've gone back and looked at some tape on this?
I think it's kind of what Coach Frost said. There's just maybe one guy here and there on a play that maybe doesn't get a good enough block, gets beat on a block. A couple times the running backs missed a hole or missed a cut, and so it's been a kind of a combination. You're playing without your top 2 tight ends for most of the game on Saturday, and so you bring in guys that are just hard-working players, really good football players, but they're not as big. And so Hickman and Chancellor Brewington and Borkature, they're tough kids, and they played really well, but they don't have the size that those other 2 guys do. So it's that, and then the wide receivers have to be more consistent on the perimeter. In the option game, they have to do a better job, and so it's just a combination of everybody blocking better, and then the backs making the most of their cuts and making the most of their opportunities. You'd like to see some more 8, 10, 12-yard gains. There were too many that were 2 or 3 yards, and the good thing is it's early in the season. You try to work those things out, and you work them out after a win. It's a lot better than working them out after a loss. So I think our guys understand after watching the film some of the things they need to do better, and hopefully it gets better this week and throughout the season.
Best game of the young career of Gabe Irvin. What do you like about that young man? You've watched him in spring and then in August and now 3 games.
He's really determined. He's a kid that loves football, and he's committed to being the best he can be. he loves the game. You know, he studies film. He works his tail off in the weight room, conditioning. He knows what to do as a young guy. It doesn't seem like the moment's too big for him. And, you know, he has a ton of talent. He has a chance to be a really great player by the time he's out of here. And he's still young, and he's making plays already. So I'm excited for his future.
Husker color analyst Matt Davis and with us here on Sports Nightly on a Monday following a Husker victory. Before we move into the upcoming game with Oklahoma, what did you make of all the pregame festivities surrounding 9/11? Pretty emotional time in the stadium on Saturday.
Yeah, 20 years. I mean, hey, time has gone so fast, it seems. So much has happened since 9/11. It changed our world, and it gives great perspective to all of us on what's really important in life. I was able to meet the Page family on Saturday at the game, and so that was special for me. And you know, just to remember all the first responders, not just that day, but every day, the sacrifices they make and the courage that they live their lives with. America came together after 9/11, and that's what I really remember. I was 3 years old when it happened, and I just remember this country coming together and being united, and those are good feelings to kind of remember from such a tragic event. But yeah, it was nice to be in Memorial Stadium, have a home game that day, and we did what we could to try to remember that day and all the sacrifices that people have made since then.
Well done. I thought it was incredibly touching, moving tributes for everybody on Saturday. Also honored a couple of Hall of Fame classes. The Nebraska Football Hall of Fame, Doug DeBose, probably the headliner of that group. I still can picture in my mind 22 scampering all over the field.
Yeah, he was a good player when I was a little kid, watching as many games as I could on TV. And you know, it's great to be able to remember the tremendous players that we've had over the decades here, and congratulations to everybody in that class. Really good football players and really great human beings when you get to know those guys. So it was a big weekend for them. I was glad we could honor them, and every year as we put new people into the Hall of Fame, and those guys are all very deserving.
The 2021 class, Matt, had 6 members of the 71 team, which is also going to be honored this weekend. 50th anniversary of the game of the century. You've gotten to know a lot of those people really well, the Johnny Rogers, the Jeff Kennys, those guys. That makes this really special, isn't it, going back and playing Oklahoma once again?
No doubt. I mean, 50 years. I hope I can look back, you know, someday and say, hey, I played in that game, you know, 50 years ago. These guys, you know, helped lay the foundation for a great program, and you know, this program has done a lot of great things in the last 50 years, and a lot of it started up with those guys when they were freshmen and in the 60s, and then winning back-to-back national championships and really, you know, setting this thing on course to be a tremendous program in college football for decades to come. And, you know, I played 25 years after that, and now here we are 25 years after I was a freshman. So, you know, all of us that have ever played here look back to those teams, and we're just so thankful for the effort that they gave to make this program what it was back then. And I love talking to them and hearing stories about those games and all the Oklahoma games in the 70s that were tremendous games. And talking to Jim Pillen about the games that he played in, and Cleat and those guys too. So it's going to be a nice thing this weekend for those guys to be down in Norman, and I'm sure they're going to see some familiar faces that maybe they haven't even seen in 50 years, and guys they competed against. So it's really a special deal. Oklahoma has a great fan base just like we do, and I remember playing down there in my career, and you know, their fans are similar to ours, right? They're very accepting welcoming to the fans from the opposing team, and even more so when it's Nebraska. And I think Nebraska was that way when Oklahoma came here. You just have a respect for their program and what they've done, and I think these two programs just have so much history and good and good memories for a lot of those years, and then some memories that are tough ones to remember too. Both teams have taken some tough losses. So, look, this is going to be a really special weekend for our players, for our fan bases, and for the nation, really, to be able to watch Nebraska-Oklahoma again. It's too bad we don't play every year. Obviously, that went away a while back, and, you know, but it's nice that we're playing them again.
Yeah, Oklahoma ruined some Thanksgiving dinners. Now, don't kid anybody.
Oh, they did.
There were some turkeys probably thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Out the back porch.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And this is a good football team. This is a really good OU team we're going to match up with.
For sure. I mean, they're one of the teams that could win it all, and that means you have great players. It means you have great coaching. They're on their home field. They're just a really talented group. You said it. They're big and fast and strong, and they have a great quarterback leading the way for them. A great head coach who's very creative offensively, gets them in great stuff offensively. It's really going to test our defense this week with the speed that they have and the weapons that they have and the quarterback that they have. So that's a big challenge for the defense. And offensively, you look at their defense, and, man, they just have guys that can run and attack, and they can tackle in space. They just have really good talent all across the board. So big challenge for our team, but this is why you come to a place like Nebraska, is to play in big games, whether it's in conference or out of conference. And this happens to be an out of conference game that's one these guys will never forget. And hopefully we go down there and play our best and see what happens.
Great opportunity. Second road game, but a little bit different environment this one than Illinois. Not putting Illinois down, but it's a lot louder in Owen Field.
A lot of fanfare around this one. A bigger stadium. National TV. Everybody's going to be talking about this game, and partly because Oklahoma is one of those teams that they think could win it all and is ranked highly, and that's what happens when you're ranked at the top. You get a lot of attention. So this game's going to have a lot of attention on it, not just because of the history of these two programs, but because of where they're ranked. And I played in a few of these games, and it's just they're games that you'll never forget as a player. And so I'm hopeful we go down there, and I know we're going to play hard. There's no question we're going to play hard. Hopefully we play well and really put on a good show.
All right, have a good week. We'll see you in the booth.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Matt Davison with us. Our Mondays with Matt. I'm getting a little choked up here thinking about this Oklahoma game. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Phone lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. Back with more of the show coming up.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots, and we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you. And Frontier Cooperative.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. we've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Treatment for kids fighting brain cancer has not changed for over 30 years. If a child survives, they will live with the side effects from the treatments for the rest of their lives. This is Rex Burkhead. The Team Jack Foundation invests in impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments and one day a cure. There's a lot of work to do to beat this disease, and we need your help. Donate today by calling 855-RUN-JACK or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org. Your help makes a difference.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy it online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night after a Husker victory, a 28-3 win over Buffalo. Let's get to the phone. Let's go to Omaha and Pep. Good evening, Pep. Welcome to the show.
Hey, great show, guys. Appreciate it. Say, okay, I heard a lot of talk today about the O-line and the O-line trying to make something happen and generate some yards for the running back. But, you know, I heard DB make a comment earlier that a lead blocker would be a wrinkle that the Huskers might be thinking about doing. And, you know, it doesn't seem too far off from Scott Frost, you know, his background. He's played the fullback. And you see in these seam running plays that they're doing, and line just can't seem to hold the block long enough. I'd just like to know your thoughts on that and see if that's a viable idea this weekend.
All right. Yeah, I think Nebraska's got a little bit of that look in their play. Pep, appreciate the phone call. We did line up near the goal line today, and DeAndre Thomas lined up as a fullback. I looked out there, number 97 down there. He certainly can blow a hole into something. So maybe they do look at getting a little bit more creative with some of that.
And maybe, again, don't want to show everything just yet. You know, maybe there are some of those packages. they have the depth now in that room, and you look at another guy like Jaquez that could also be a guy that could do some of that as well. I mean, maybe it's just something they have that they're not showing yet, and maybe could be potential. But the fact that you have guys in that room, you can maybe look to do that a little bit more.
Keep Yant in the back pocket. I think he's still going to have a big impact on this season at some point in time. Let's stay in Lincoln next and chat with John. Good evening, John. Welcome to the program.
Hi, I want to say that I don't always agree with you, and you're always very courteous to me when I come on the phone. And one of the reasons I listen to you, I respect people's integrity and to tell me what they think, and that's how I, look at life. And I think you are doing a good job, and people have a right to voice their opinion. But you're mentioning going into the past time. My dad went to the Colorado game. That Colorado beat us up in Boulder for the first time in like 30 years. So my dad was 83, and he was terminally ill. And when they won, my dad stood up and clapped for Colorado. And that's the type of fan that I'm used to seeing. And I just hope that we're developing not only a football team, but a fan base that can stick there no matter what, and even, be courteous like you are to me. And that's all. That's my only comment today.
All right, John. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. No, I have total expectation that Husker fans are going to act appropriately. In most cases, you're going to have some knuckleheads out there that don't do things the right way. But no, I think Husker fans are very respectful. I mean, you've been around enough Husker games already. You can see that happening with our fans.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we got a text about some people booing. I wasn't out there when that happened, but I thought when Buffalo ran out there and because I was standing down on that end when Buffalo ran out and at the beginning, and they got a pretty loud cheer when they ran out.
Somebody texted and said that they were disappointed. They heard us booing Buffalo's team when they came out.
I didn't hear them boo.
That.
I didn't hear them boo. So maybe I was at the wrong side of the field, but I was down there where Buffalo ran out, and I didn't hear any boos. So.
Yeah. All right, Savion Morrison, you had a chance to catch up with that young man earlier today. He's from Oklahoma. He's got to be excited about this.
Yeah,
game.
We call each other Oklahomies, because we're both from Oklahoma. But, yeah, he obviously had a big high school career there going back this weekend. So, of course, talked to him about going back there. He went to some games growing up, knows some of those guys that play for Oklahoma, so kind of dove into all of that today at the press conference. Going back home to your home state, how excited are you for this week?
I'm very excited, just, a chance to go do what I love back home.
You got a bunch of people that are planning on coming?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of family, friends, just people that support, that plan to make it.
What do you remember and what do you know about, I mean, I know you're pretty young, but growing up in the state, about the history of this rivalry?
I know that it was almost like, okay, you know how it's always Alabama and the team in the championship this year? Back then, what was it, that Big 8? It was just Nebraska and OU, so I know that's a legendary game, and it's really a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big game, with the history of this rivalry, but then also just, with Oklahoma being a top 5 ranked team. But it seems like Nebraska has really approached each week how they were supposed to. I mean, from the inside out, how do you feel like this team has handled focusing 1 week at a time before you even got to this week?
Oh, doing good, because, we try not to get ahead. We knew that we would see this game eventually, but we focus on week by week. So this week, we know that we have a good team. We going to their home, so we just preparing even better, knowing what's at hand.
Yeah, and it seemed like especially defense, Black Shirts played lights out last week, really prepared and handled last week well. What goes into that preparation so that you are going to be ready for Saturday?
Really just the same thing, coaching, players, just knowing what we have to do, what task is at hand. Just really the little things that matter the most this week.
And what have you seen when you start diving in on this Oklahoma game film?
I know a lot of them boys, so, they got good defensive line, good players, offensive and defensively. So we just going to, play them to our full ability.
Yeah, some Tulsa guys in the secondary, a couple of them. So, but what do you guys need to do to kind of, they've kind of been improving defensively year by year, but to maybe score some points on them, what's going to be the key to that?
We have to pound the ball first. And, we're going to do that as much as we can. We have a pretty good running back room, so we're going to pound the ball as much as we can, throw the ball as much as we can, just get points on the board.
Yes, through the first 3 games, there's been multiple running backs that have either gotten in the end zone. You know, Marquise had the 100-yard game a week ago. How important is that for this team that you guys have, you know, multiple running backs that can be called upon?
Oh, that's very important because, like, we go by a saying, next guy up. So if anything happened, the next guy has to be on standby. And I feel like that's a key to having a good room because when one go down, the second one is coming just as hard. Another one go down, the third one is coming just as hard. So it's kind of like we work together, work around each other.
And you seem pretty supportive of each other, like you're each other's biggest cheerleaders. I mean, how neat is that relationship within the room, too?
I think that starts outside of the room. We just, you know, me, Marquise, and like my brother, so it starts outside the room, and then it translates on the field. That's just how they go right there.
And the offensive line, how much are you guys seeing them kind of starting to gel and click and continue to improve?
Oh, yeah. We notice, and, like, we tell them, we make sure we got a good relationship with our O-line because without them, there's no us at all. So just seeing them boys start to click and start to see them work to that second level, you know that something big is coming.
You said it, you got to pound the rock, got to get the run game going. How do you guys continue to kind of get that opening up? Because, I mean, you see what happens with the passing game when that happens. How do you guys continue to build on the run game?
Really just that go back to the next guy up. So if that person might not run that outfit as well, let the next guy try it, or let the next guy try it. It'll work eventually.
Obviously, this stadium's pretty loud. Have you been inside Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman?
Yes, I have.
So you got a sense for it. Are you kind of trying to, you know, prepare guys a little bit about what it might be like?
Really just telling my friends as much as I know about the stadium. Like, I've been there before, like you said. Just knowing that we're going back to a grass field. It might be a little different, but only thing it'll probably be the same as just the red in the stands.
And just as a college football player, as an athlete, as a competitor, how excited are you guys for this challenge?
Oh, we very excited. We are very excited. Like, we very excited. But we going to do it like we did every week. You know, this week, this is our game. This is our main focus. So,
I mean, they're excited about the opportunity. I've said that, you know, multiple times last week, this week, leading up to this, you know, preparing for Oklahoma. They've been focused 1 week at a time, and now that this opportunity is here, they seem really excited about it, getting to kind of go showcase, you know, and play against one of the top teams in the country. You want those opportunities.
Sure.
And that was another point, too, playing on grass. It'll be different as well. You have to prepare for that.
He was a step or two away, I thought, maybe not even a full step from breaking off a big one on Saturday. And even, I think Jeremiah said it on the broadcast, Nebraska was just a sliver a couple of times from breaking a big run off. They just didn't get very many of those on Saturday.
Scott said that too, you know, just, I mean, just here or there a little. And again, I think a lot of running backs, Marquise is more experienced, but Sevion necessarily hasn't played a lot of college football. Gabe either. So, you know, again, just trying to figure out the nuances of how to rip one of those big ones off.
I still like that room. I know they haven't had a great start, but I still like that room. I think there's plenty of talent in that room.
I do too, and I like that you can maybe see who has the hot hand. You know, that you're not just relying on one guy every single week, that you got 3 different guys in there that you feel like you could turn to.
Buckle up and put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office, 402-413-2400. The number if you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. We're back with more Sports Nightly coming up.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Buick GMC and find your next vehicle. Our knowledgeable sales team is eager to help you find a vehicle. Plus, get you on the road faster with our streamlined sales and buying process that you can start online. We have over 100 new Buick and GMC models with the features you want at a smart price. Visit our indoor showroom or shop online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Experience the difference and shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
What is highbid.com? It's the online auction site for just about everything under the sun. Art and antiques, cars and coins, office equipment and furniture, toys and tools. You can find it all at highbid.com. Highbid.com gives you access to thousands of auctions across the USA and around the world. Browse the most popular auctions, search for the exact item you want, or just explore the site. Go to highbid.com. That's HIBID.com and find what you're looking for today.
Let Shelter Insurance get you in the game this football season. The Nebraska Huskers are gearing up for another big year, and this is your chance to win tickets from Shelter Insurance and the Husker Radio Network. Contact a Nebraska Shelter agent and they'll register you for a chance to win tickets to one of 4 home football games this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Huskers and ask them to register you to win.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You live in a smart home powered by Cox Internet, so you're not thinking about the pizza delivery. You're thinking how nice it is to get everyone together for a fun night. You're not thinking about the pizza, maybe just a little.
Cox Home Life. Show me the front porch camera.
Pizza!
View your Cox Home Life cameras right from your TV using your Contour voice remote. Visit cox.com/thisishome to learn more.
Advertised features require subscription to Cox Internet and Contour TV. A high-speed internet connection is required. Home Life Security Services subject to Home Life Security Service Agreement. Cox Home Life Services provided by Cox licensed entities. See cox.com/licenses.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Team Jack Foundation raises funds for childhood brain cancer research. Please consider supporting the Team Jack Foundation by texting JACK to 243-725 or visiting teamjackfoundation.org. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday Sports Nightly. Dennis on our text line says, really like the helmets. Do you think the Huskers might wear those helmets again this year?
I don't know if they will,
but
I like the helmets a lot. Jinx.
I did too.
I liked them a lot. I like the whole unis, but maybe wear them again. But with the gray face mask, I don't know if they'd change that out or if they'd leave the gray because the uniforms had touches of gray in them. So
tied into that.
Yeah. But maybe they take because you can replace the face mask, right? So maybe they replace the face mask.
I liked them. Thought it was one of the better alternates that Nebraska has worn since kind of this era of once a year doing that has kind of come about. I thought they were really cool to have them on. And volleyball wore something similar that night at the Devaney Center.
They did. They had tops that had some of the camo touches as well. But, again, we can't say it enough just how incredible of a job all around. I mean, it's too many people to name that had a hand in everything that went in, from the uniforms and the tributes and Husker Vision and all of the kind of things, the marketing, the event staff that went into it, just so many details and so much planning, and it just went off just incredibly so well on Saturday.
Flyover was great.
Oh, chills. I literally, just from the time that everything kind of started until the team ran out with the first responders. We had someone on our Facebook live chat whose sister was, I believe, the firefighter that was in that group. And when you saw Damien kind of walk out with the flag of the four of them standing there, God, just chills. It was so awesome.
Really cool thing. All right, need to step aside, get a break, and we went long in the last segment. 402-413-2400. We're back with our weekend winners, and we'll have time for another call or two if you want to dial us up and offer off an opinion of something. We'll get into that next.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerballs Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2, and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot, with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead, and I am asking you to tune in on Thursday, September 16th to the Team Jack Foundation's annual radiothon presented by the Home Agency. Your donation helps fund impactful childhood brain cancer research to find better treatments for kids and one day a cure. Our kids deserve more. You can help by tuning in to the Team Jack Radiothon on September 16th or by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to make your donation now.
We are back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. Let's go back to the phones. Jan in Oakland, Iowa joins us next. Good evening, Jan.
Good evening, gentlemen. I really appreciate the full coverage and the comprehensive analysis you guys provide. You're always very supportive of Nebraska football and all of athletics. Kudos to you guys. I believe that the Buffalo win, I kind of call it a IV of confidence. Hopefully that we can continue to fill that bag and get ready to go for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree. A huge confidence boost. And I think just the way, too, talking with players after the game, they handled their business throughout the week, which led, especially for the defensive players, which led to the performance that they had. So that's always big, too, not just building confidence because you got to win, but also showing, look, when you take care of business throughout the week, it shows up on Saturdays.
I think one of the big assets that we have is Coach Frost understands he grew up with the respect and the nostalgia and history of the NU versus OU. No doubt, I don't think anybody will do more to sprinkle in some of that promotion of the history and the nostalgia throughout practice this week. Coach Frost and his staff and team, they deserve our complete support and our all, because I don't have any doubt that they're going to give their all.
Very good. Jan, appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate the phone call. He did say today, he said he will mention and talk about the rivalry as the week goes on with the players. But, a lot of them are so young and don't really remember any of the great battles between these two teams. And so it's a little bit different, but he does, and a lot of the guys on the staff do too.
Well, I think just, making sure that these players know that they're going to walk into a stadium full of people that do know about the rivalry, that it is a big game for a lot of people. There's a lot of Nebraska fans that are going to be there that remember how special this rivalry is. A ton of OU fans that are going to be there that, there's a lot of buildup around this game. So just, again, even though the players might not be old enough to remember how, this rivalry in its glory days, there are a lot of people in the stands that do. And so it is going to be a lit atmosphere down there in Norman.
Good handful of the 71 team is headed that way to take part in some festivities. They're going to have an on-field presentation for the teams as well. That'll be a really cool thing. All right, time for weekend winners. What are you looking at?
I am going with a couple of former Husker wrestlers, James Green, Jordan Burroughs. Of course, Jordan, disappointing that he didn't make the Olympic team this year, bounced back, making the World Championship team. It's his 10th Olympic or World Championship team that he's made. Going to Oslo, Norway, October 2nd through the 10th, and he put out a tweet. It was really cool. He's got a big black eye, swollen, and, he said, just the number 10, period, and goes on to say, age does not determine toughness. I still choose to operate with faith, discipline, and effort every day. So congratulations to Jordan Burroughs.
Fantastic. And T.J. Dudley was also at the competition at PBA over the weekend. He did not make the team, but he's still fighting to try to get himself on a world stage at some point in time as well. 3 outstanding former wrestlers for the Big Red. My weekend winner are the fans of the Miami Hurricanes. Did you see them catch that cat that was dangling from the upper deck? These fans were below it. They saw it. The cat finally lost its grip, and the fans caught the cat in an American flag.
Wow.
And then walked him to the back of the stadium and let him go.
Wow. I did not see that. I need to look that up.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The video went viral the other night. It's a really cool thing. All right, that's going to put a wrap on our show tonight. A very short show tomorrow. Jessica's going to steer you up to Husker volleyball tomorrow night. They take on nationally ranked Stanford. It is a 7 o'clock first serve, 6:30 for pregame, so only about a 15-minute show tomorrow night here of Sports Nightly. Back with a full show then on Wednesday night. Thanks to Jessica, to Tim, to Andrew, to Mike, to all of you for listening tonight. We will talk to you again later in the week.
I couldn't get it to turn down.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woohoo! Business Technology 1, network downtime 0. Being a game-winning IT network takes hard work and an experienced technology coach. That's why our game plan includes Marco. Marco helps our entire business infrastructure perform better and score big day in and day out. With Marco's veteran experience guiding our team, every season is a winning season. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.